Hello, Scott Rosano with Gigbuilder.com. This is lesson number 219, and we're going to go over client options. And these are things that you will be setting up for both the client login, what they can and cannot do, and the overall look and feel of how that and other forms are. We're going to get that set up so it looks like your website. Anyway, all of this is under Tools, Web Tools and Setup. And when the Web Tools and Setup menu pulls up, we're going to go into what's called client options. Now we're going to go for the client option. The top part is the general client options, and almost every single issue we have and support issues is involved with this not being set correctly. Okay, so on this first side here, now your clients are going to be able to log in if you give them permission and do stuff. This is the stuff you're going to let them do. If it's not checked, they're not doing it. So right now, the only thing this client has is venue information. Not really much in the way of anything a client can do. So we'll drop into these. Vendor and special guest info. Do you want them to provide information about the other vendors that are there, or any special information about guests? So that's a section. Event notes and special announcements. Do you want them to add those? Sure. Do you want them to change an event timeline? Do you want them to have a guest manager? This will allow guests, when they're logging guests, they can assign guests. They can set them to do a whole bunch of stuff. Next, we have some print buttons. So if you don't want them to print a PDF, you can hide it. Do you want them to edit worksheets? I would think so. Now here's notifies. Do you want to get a text message or an email based upon changes? So if the client logs in, I'd like to get an email letting me know that they did. My profile tab allows them to change their own personal information, or at least look at it. Do you want them to be able to print paperwork? And this is a lot of issues that people are saying. My clients can't see anything. That's got to be checked. We have a refer a friend. Do you want that added? We allow the client to request changes. For example, if their venue changes, they can actually request that, show the new thing, and let you go through. I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to turn it on. Do you want them to request music? Well, yeah. What about a satisfaction survey? Sure. And the daily summary email that you get, do you want to see any changes, any logins? Sure, why not? Now, show or hide some more information. Do you want to display the deposit retainer? Some people do, some people don't. Do you want to allow the client to make payments? So if you go through all the payment setup and you don't check mark this, they'll never be able to do it. Do you want them to see information on their package? Yes. Do you want them to see instant answers? This allows them to do in another video, allows them to do a chat with you. I'm not going to put that on here for today. Don't display primary worksheet timeline. Don't display recent emails. Don't display meetings. You can turn these things off to make it as clean as you want. And I think when we get to the point where you're going to be logging in as client, this will make more sense, and we'll come back to it. And then the client homepage, additional information. What do you want to show? Do you want the employee's phone number, employee info, any of that? It's all up to you on what you decide. The next thing we're going to scroll down to is the look and feel. And this is where you're going to be changing colors so that Gigbuilder more represents the website in which it's being on. So you can set up different colors. These are the defaults. So just got some black, white, and maybe a pink little button. You can go through and change each of these. Field backgrounds, field foregrounds, or field text color, button text color. I got white on pink right here. So these you go through and you change, and all you got to do is simply just click. And anywhere you want to in here, and that will change. Okay. So work down there. You can also put a background image behind your client login. We have some, but you can upload your own. I could do like just maybe a weird background like that. And then I can change my default font type, my body fonts and field fonts, get them as close as I can to that on my website. So that's on your colors. Now the next thing to have here is we have some lockout controls. Again, we get a lot of request issues on here. When is it a point in time where a client cannot make changes? So the day of the event, or how many days before the event, do you like that? Like 3 or 4 or 5 days before, I don't want them to make any changes because I'm already preparing for things. Now post-event, do you want to give them access? And what do you want to give them access to? Just for the survey? just for minimal plus survey, which is a few other items, or full access. So we're going to do a survey, so I'll let that in there. Now, venue. If they have not selected a venue yet, now some people like to do this. They will set it up so that when somebody checks availability, that availability will then automatically create an event and send them a client login. So they could start going immediately. And if they haven't selected a venue, you can change this to yes, and it will allow them to select a venue for the first time. Event guest options. What do you want the guests to do? Right now we just have request music. And also a disable pin system, which is an entirely different video. Just leave that alone for now. Migration controls. If you used another product and you're coming into Gigbuilder and you want it to current events to go to the older client login, you can do that here, and we'll have a separate video on that. Also with Refer a Friend, both the page header and friend email template, you can set up a page where they can refer a friend. You can put some information on here, whatever that is, and they just type in some emails and some stuff, and then you can generate a token, or I'm sorry, an email template that will go to that friend and to you as well. So that's what we've done in here. We've gone up, we've selected some of the general client options, we have taken a look at our look and feel, and we've made some changes to that. We've looked at some controls, venue selections, things of that nature, and when we're done, we're going to go ahead and hit save. And once we hit save, just real quickly, because this will be on the next video, if we go into the responsive check availability forms and we click on that, you will see that the colors that you selected automatically build these forms up. So once you get the colors right, now you can just copy and paste these to your website. It's going to have the same look and feel. Hope you got something out of the video. When you're done with that, come on back and we're going to show you how to put that check availability form right on your website.